Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is New Year's Eve. We're gonna do one last video before the end of the year. I haven't posted in a while. I've just been busy with the holidays. Hope all of you had a great Christmas and hopefully have a great New Year's. Yeah, we're gonna do one last ride for the year. Just talk about a few things. People are starting to get their eride 3.0s, starting to get their altis sigmas as well. I've been seeing a few content creators upload videos, which is great. That's what the people want. We're also going to talk a little bit about the MX-5 and any updates that I have for it. Yeah, I haven't done anything recently to the bike, but as I mentioned before, definitely want to invest in some turn signals and a proper brake light as well, just to improve my night riding experience. We will also have a part 2 of the Warp 9 Big Light review. We'll have that out soon. I may post that video before this one, but we'll see. It's a beautiful day in San Francisco. Lots of people at the park today. Beautiful weather too. I just wanted to get on the roads and just film some content, you know, just do some fun stuff. All right, let's get going. Okay, so first thing we'll discuss is Charge Cycle Works has been releasing a lot of eride 3.0 content, comparing it to the MX-5, comparing it to the 2.0 as well, and I've been loving it. Honestly, I think their content is really, really good, and yeah, overall, the 3.0 seems like a great buy, in my opinion. They did a range test, hill climb, race with the 3.0 as well. The weird thing to me is that the eride 3.0 has a lower top speed compared to the MX-5, which is just very strange to me. It's got a bigger motor, bigger battery, same voltage, but you know, more power output, and it has a slower top speed. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they're limiting it or something. Also to note, in the tests that they were doing with the MX-5 and the 3.0, the MX-5 had a 1918 wheel setup, I believe. I believe that's what it was. So it had a 1918 wheel setup. Which I'm pretty sure should make it a little bit slower. Somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But the MX-5 still had a higher top speed. Now, it was way slower than the eride 3.0 in terms of how quick it was. They did a little race, and yeah, the MX-5 got absolutely destroyed. So I still think the eride 3.0 is a little bit of a better bike. If you want something beefier and maybe a little bit better for trail riding, I might say recommend the MX-5. I haven't done enough trail riding on this thing, but just based on videos I've seen, reviews I've seen, it just seems like a more robust electric dirt bike. The 3.0 is more of like the 2.0's bigger brother, where it's just a whole bunch of better specs, better belt. I believe you can program the throttle curves on that bike as well, which is very cool. Very, very, very cool. So yeah, I just think it's a better version of the 2.0 in a lot of ways. And eride, the company, is very smart just to target the MX-5. There's like not a whole lot of other things in its class that even compare in the slightest. There's just not a whole lot of bikes in the MX-5's class just because of the time that it was released. Currently, I think the 3.0 is the only other real competition. You could argue the Altis is in competition with the MX-5, but that bike is in a class of its own. Also $1,000 more expensive. Which kind of leads me into the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is the Altis Sigma. I've been seeing ride reviews from Ross Stunts, a couple other content creators, and man, the thing looks beastly. I love the look of the bike. Has a much more aggressive look, I think, than the MX-5 in my opinion. And it's just super quick. The thing is kind of loud, but I don't think a lot of people are going to be like pissed about that, which is fine. I think the Altis is a great looking bike. The styling on it, the plastics on it look amazing. There's been one thing I've been wondering about, and I haven't heard any content creators talk about it at all, and that is the suspension. I really want to know what that front suspension is like. I'm super happy with the suspension on the MX-5. It's super customizable, and it feels great. It's honestly a great all-around experience, in my opinion. During the pre-production reviews, it just seemed like the suspension on the Sigma was just shot. It was loud, noisy. It just sounded terrible, but that's pre-production and a bunch of people were riding it, so I'm not gonna cast too much judgment on those things. But so far so good. Reviewers seem very happy with their bikes. I don't think I've seen a review on the MX yet. I don't know if the MX model has been shipped yet. Might be locked up at customs and, you know, going through all kinds of delays and stuff. Lots of twisty turvies in Presidio. This would be an awesome place to learn how to ride a motorcycle. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I'm very curious about the front suspension. Otherwise, Alta Sigma seems like a great bike. People haven't run into issues yet. We'll see how the quality of the bike holds up over time as well. Same applies to the 3.0. I know there are a few quality concerns about the brakes. I've been seeing some people get their 3.0 brakes tied up for whatever reason. Ooh, I have not seen a Cybertruck in that color before. That is nice. That is super nice. Yeah, that is a very rare color. It's beautiful though. Honestly, this truck has grown on me. I don't know if I'd ever buy one, even if I had the money. I think there's a whole bunch of better options, but the thing just looks so unique. Wheels are massive on this thing too. And the paint almost like fades with the light. There's a little gradient too. I'm a huge fan. But yeah, some more comments about the 3.0. Yeah, one thing we can talk about that Charge Cycle Works did a great job of doing is comparing the batteries by testing the range on each of these bikes. And to be honest, the MX-5 did terrible compared to these other bikes. I'm not too concerned. I have my adapter and can bring my charger with me when I need it. But yeah, the battery on the MX-5 compared to the eride, we'll see about the Altis. I haven't seen any range tests on the Altis, but the battery on the eride 3.0 compared to the MX-5, it's like not even a comparison. The eride Pro has 25% more capacity, 10 extra amp hours than the MX-5, but it's the performance of the cells is just that much better. I think it's more than a 25% improvement. The Charge Cycle Works guys went on a huge long trail ride. I don't know if they did like 23 miles or whatever, but the MX-5 was almost dead for one. And then the eride 2.0 and 3.0 were actually sitting at around 30%, which is, they were sitting around 30%, which is impressive for such a long ride. What is this here? Little dirt bike. to pass up the Waymo. But yeah, the performance of that battery on the eride is just like super impressive. I'm very impressed by it. If I had waited longer, I think the 3.0 would have been my choice. It's only $300 more than the MX-5. I think you might have to pay shipping as well, so that might come into play. It might be like $500, $600 more than the MX-5, but you get a lot of nice upgrades. I haven't ridden a belt drive bike. I know the Surons and e-rides are all belt driven, and they've made some really big improvements with the 3.0 chain drive. It's supposed to be self-cleaning, bigger belts as well. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the 3.0. In another life, maybe I would have gotten that bike. I'm still waiting to see when Warp 9, Charge Cycle Works, Talaria Boys even, if they release a maybe 1916 wheel setup for the MX-5. I don't do a lot of trail riding, but I want to. I think what I might do before that is just swap the tires on this bike. I still don't think there are quite a lot of available large knobby tires that you can put on this bike. I'm leaning towards the Shinko 241s. They're kind of like a hybrid tire for off-road and street use. And they've got a really nice tread pattern. I see a lot of people opt to go with those wheels. And I'm gonna have to take these crappy CSTs off. I'm not a fan of the stock tires on this bike. I don't think I'd be a fan of the stock tires on most bikes. Now, that also brings up another good point about the 3.0. The 3.0 comes out with E-Ride branded tires. They look exactly like Shinko 241s, and they have the exact same tire pattern. I don't know if they just slapped their name on it and rebranded, but that's another huge advantage that you're getting out of the box with the E-Ride 3.0. All in all, just great bike, great job from the E-Ride guys to release something so great out of the box. I think that's what everybody's looking for these days. Nobody wants to sit around and spend $10,000 modding a Suron when you can just go and buy a Stark Varg. Speaking of Stark Varg, they have released a new, supposedly street legal version that's supposed to be coming out. The Stark Varg EX, I believe it's called, and it has a slightly different, well, it has a headlight for one, turn signals as well, made with some cool silicone materials. It's a Ninja, I think it's a 400. Yeah, the new Stark Varg looks absolutely amazing. Honestly, I probably would never buy one unless I had just a crap ton of disposable income. $12K for a bike that, you know, doesn't have the greatest range. The power on that thing is absolutely insane. I've been watching tons of videos on the Stark Varg, but yeah, it's quite a lot of money to shell out. Probably better off going with the Altis Sigma or the SR if you really want that kind of power. Oh, some news on the SR. I've seen some people ride, I don't know if it's a production model yet. I don't think they've released it yet, but some people are riding the pre-production model. And it seems like the power that they give you on that bike is damn near unusable. It's just got too much power to get to the street or get to the road. It's just too much. You're just gonna spin out constantly. And I know everybody's been hyping it up because it's got a bigger motor than even the Altis Sigma. Sigma's at 22 kilowatts, the SR is 25 kilowatts. And it's got a same size battery as a 3.0, so I don't know how that's gonna affect the range on the SR. So yeah, still waiting on videos from those bikes, but it's looking pretty hopeful. Still waiting on those reviews to come out so I can learn some more. I'm actually going on a trip tomorrow to Hawaii. Going to Kauai, island of Kauai. First time in Hawaii, I'm super hyped about it. Gonna be there for like 5 days. And I'm actually gonna bring my GoPro out there. They have bikes that you can rent and go for bike rides around the island. So I'm actually gonna try and shoot some content for you guys, get that out to you as soon as possible. I'm also gonna be doing some editing out there as well. I'll probably edit this video while I'm out there. So stay tuned for some Hawaii riding content. Definitely not going to rent any EMOTOs out there. Although I know some of the islands have EMOTO rentals, I don't think that's not gonna happen for me. Anyway, that's all for today's video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content coming your way soon. Thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.